Hey guys, and welcome back to this week's update on the 30-gallon mixed reef aquarium. So I've got lots to update in this video, probably one of the largest videos I've ever done, like largest updates. And I'm not going to be showing the tank at all in this video, mainly because I've added maybe £500 worth of livestock and equipment, and I've changed virtually everything. This is all going to be saved for next week's video. We'll do a massive, I guess, nearly a 7-month update. So that's going to be for next week. So for this week, yes, the title and the thumbnail is correct. I have had a massive tank leak, so I'm going to show you into the cabinet right now. So let's turn this light on, actually. Yeah, it's better. Alright, so if you're familiar with my cabinet, there is usually a massive, great big, well, it's not huge, but it's a 40-litre tank, just a normal tank. It's really, really old. It's from like I don't know, from 1995 or something. Really, it's a really, really old tank. And so basically, right, I'm going to tell you a story. So about I'd say 3 or 4 days ago, I came into my room and I noticed my floor was a bit damp. It wasn't soaking, like dripping, you know, like a massive tank leak. It was only like about this kind of area was a little bit wet. So I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe it was saying that a flicker out of the tank. I mean, I wasn't really too sure what it was, so I kind of just left it for a day to see if it was dry. But I came back into my room the next day and it was still damp. So I tried to dry it up with a little fan and some towels and that. It wasn't massive, so I looked into the cabinet to see if it was anything out of here, because I knew the tank wasn't any, the level was still exactly the same. I noticed the RO, this is my RO top up, the big tank was, so that was about halfway down, and it shouldn't have been that low, so that was actually leaking. I pulled it out a little bit, and on this side of the tank it was cracked. There was about this size crack, this kind of wide, all the way down the tank, and I think that's probably from this hinge, because what I do is when I have to top it up, when it gets too low, I pull the whole tank out, like maybe 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters, and I've done that once maybe, and it might have caught on this little screw here, and it's like scratched it across the tank and maybe pulled the silicone over a little bit open. So if it was a brand new tank, it probably wouldn't have had a crack in it, but it's a really like 25-year-old tank, so that's kind of expected. So what I've done is, out of the shed outside the garden, we found these little 2 containers. This has got nothing in it. It's just to balance my, not balance, just put my acts as a shelf for my doser, and I've got my container down there. So this is full of RO water. As you can see in here, here's my RO top up. That's the TMC one. So I'm not actually too sure how many litres this is. It's probably about maybe 5 or 10. It's really not that much. It'll probably last about a week or two. It's already getting quite low, so I'm going to have to top that off. So that tank's outside. That would probably just be thrown out, because I mean it's no use now, is it? Because it's all cracked, it's leaking. So if I didn't notice that water down there, if it all went down the back or just sat on the cabinet, it was literally drenched on the cabinet. I didn't even notice it, because I don't really go in the cabinet that much. Only if I need to top up that and turn off some switches or whatever. But what this could have led to, if it was like leaking, like just even a tiny amount for maybe 1 or 2 months, the whole stand could have just gotten really weak, and it could have started to collapse. And you can imagine that what a nightmare that would have been. I'd have to replace the whole stand at least. But luckily it didn't lead to that. So you can see in this corner there's a little bit of, if you look in this corner, smooth this all out of the way. Alright, so yeah, there's a little bit of, you see the wood's kind of rotted away a little bit, only a tiny, I mean nothing noticeable. But it's just, that could have been a lot bigger if it was left a 1 month or 2. I mean, I wouldn't have noticed. It would have been a massive, great big. Well, the whole stand would have been all like rotted in that. So luckily, I caught that just in time, I think. So we're all fixed up now. I'm gonna have to purchase another tank, maybe something a little bit smaller. I don't really need 40 litres, because that lasts me like 2 months. I'll probably go for one of those, maybe those cyano hex tanks. It's maybe the same one as my dad's got. It's a 25 litre, or it's a slightly smaller version, a lot lower down. That's about an 18 litre. I need a minimum 15 litres really, so I can get at least 2 weeks I want out of it really. I don't want to keep on topping it up really often. So we're all good. The doser, I've actually had to down my dose because my alkalinity is at 9.7. But it was a few days ago, and I've tested it again today actually, and it was 9.6. So it's gone down a tiny bit because I've halved the dose. I'm only doing 2 ml a day instead of 4. So once at 8 o'clock in the morning, it just goes off for 2 ml, and that's done every day. So I'm going to try and drop it down all the way to like maybe in between 8.5 and 9. I kind of want it. So 9.7, it's all right, but it's I kind of want a bit lower than that. I'm also going to have to purchase, well, might not have to purchase, probably just dig something up, another shelf, as some kind of, instead of sitting on like a bucket, it's the same thing as this, just upside down. Put some kind of shelf for this to sit on, and this to go underneath. This could sit on this top shelf, but the dose line tubes do not fit in this gap, because when you shut the door, it's like completely up against this bit here, so the tubes, unless they go down the back of the tank and down, but that's a bit of a loop, you know. So luckily we're all good. It could have been much worse. It is still quite a big tank leak. There was you can't imagine how much water. It was all down the back. This was all drenched. It was all underneath there, but it's completely all dry now. It's been all right for about a few days now. I actually had the tank leak 3 days ago from when I uploaded this. So just a short video, but obviously quite a big one. So I'll see you guys next week with a huge update. So push that little bell notification thing, so you can get a notification when I put up that video, which will be in about a week. Yeah, it should be next week. So you're going to want to see that I've added lots and lots of SPS corals, just like, I mean, lots of acros. I'll get to that next week, so I'll see you next week. Bye.